Well, let's talk today about the foundation of Rome. Here it gets really interesting because we have two aspects we can look at. We can look at the foundation of Rome in sense of a historical foundation, but also in the sense of a mythology. Obviously, from a historical standpoint, we should rather believe the historical analysis of the foundation of the city of Rome than the mythology. Rome wasn't built in one day, as we all know. Well, in the mythology, it was actually also not built in one day, but above a time, and this was from Romulus and Remus. Romulus and Remus were two brothers raised by a wolf. They lived and grew up in another city, but later decided to found their own city. And this was Rome. But things weren't going that smooth when they had to decide who would be the ruler of Rome. So in the end, Romulus killed Remus to get the first ruler of Rome, and that's also why it's called Rome and not Rome. But from an historical standpoint out, Rome was built in the Iron Age. The location of Rome was actually ideal for trading and defending the settlement. The river Tiber is ideal to trade with surrounding settlements and also civilizations far away from Rome. We can also see that the 7 hills of Rome were ideal to defend the city, or as it was then, a little settlement with traders and farmers. So Rome was always attractive for people to move there, to live there. That's also why it's so interesting in Rome back in the day. Many civilizations collided together into Rome. We see the Latins, Sabines, and Etruscans all coming to Rome to live there. So the beginning of Rome was already multicultural. People from all around the area came to Rome to live with wealth, since the trading made Rome rich. But Rome was long ruled by the Etruscans, better by an Etruscan king. But in 509 BC, the Roman people overthrew the Etruscan monarchy. So the first real Roman state was formed then. It was the birth of the Roman Republic. But what made the Roman Republic so special? Well, it was a government based on elected officials and a senate. Those shaped the future of Rome for over 500 years. People were that happy that they weren't ruled by kings anymore that even 500 years later it was a public offense if someone called you wanted to become king of Rome. That's actually one of the reasons the rulers of Rome were later called emperors and not kings, since the word king is always negative for Roman people. But Rome's wealth was always attractive for the tribes around Rome. They always wanted to have some of this wealth and actually attacked Rome. The biggest fight was actually against the Gauls. They invaded Rome 390 before Christ and actually sacked Rome. Only because Roman people paid a high ransom they were able to get rid of the Gauls, which accepted the gold and gone away. Which is interesting to see here is that Rome was actually saved by its wealth and not by its military power, which crumbled against the Gauls. However, later we see Rome expanding further and further and getting bigger and bigger. The war against the Veii is famous as one of the most important steps for Rome to get a regional power. So we can see Rome wasn't built in a day and Rome wasn't undefeatable. But in the end, its wealth and especially its location saved Rome many times. And that is how Rome was founded. Rome was actually a regional power of wealth and a trade center. So it's important to note that Rome was first a commercial trade hub, which actually saved it. The wealth saved Rome firstly. Later in the days of the Roman Empire, there is actually more the military power that saved Rome. Well, it was founded on the wealth of Rome, obviously, but we always imagine those Roman legions defeating thousands of barbarians. Well, at the start it was more balanced. Only with the time, Rome's military improved significant, especially in the Punic Wars. They also got a strong navy, so that made Rome really what it is later. At the start of Rome, Rome was just a city like every other city. It was just wealthier and had a better location. Thank you for listening or watching, and I hope you could learn something today. And yeah, I hope you liked it, and let me know in the comments. Bye for now.